How many of you would quit video games forever if you were asked by your wife? And for some of you, if it's not a wife, husband, whatever it may be, your significant other, your life partner, okay? Would you stop? Would you stop? That is the question. You know what? This is a tough one for me because I actually have my wife tune into the show. Okay. So when I say things and I talk about them in relationship wise, I got to keep it 100 for y'all. And I can't even care what she even thinks. That's sad to say, but that's how I got to be. That's what I do here. Okay. So I had to think about this, and it was a tough question. And again, what if your wife asked you to quit video games forever? And I thought about it. My wife sat me down and said, baby, I love you. I want this to go forever. I take anything else you got. Anything you can bring with me, I'm cool. But you cannot play video games anymore. Y'all, I'm sorry, but I ain't going. I ain't going. I'm telling you, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. How many times do I got to say that? Now, as much as I love my wife, I would need context behind that. But we're not going to talk about context. We can go back and forth here nor there with context. Okay. Is it a yes or no? And for me, it would be no. Now, what would I have to deal with? I would have to deal with it, but it'll be no for the simple reason is I don't play games much. Okay. I play games maybe 1 to 2 hours total a week. That is no joke. Total a week. So I'm not the type sitting here playing games 24/7, right? But there are times, let me say this. But there are times when I'm in my gaming session. This one might go a couple hours, baby. I know I haven't played a couple hours in, a long time, but guess what? Now's the time. And when I lock in, because I ain't locking in, many times. I'm not. I really don't even play that much. So now when I want to lock in, I want to lock in. I don't want to hear nothing. Okay. That is my therapy. What if I was just going to go around and straight uppercutting everybody around the block? And the only thing that was stopping me was from playing Call of Duty. And I would stop all that. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But I do want to say I would be sad to say that. I'll be sad and I would actually feel like I'm a little bit addicted. Be honest. I would probably feel a little bit addicted because now I can't. I'm telling my wife I can't go on without video games. Am I addicted? Do I have a habit? Do I need to check myself? Because if you're playing the game 1 to 2 hours, Nick, how much are you going to miss? But to tell you guys the truth, this is why I'm here. Okay, I'm not missing shit. Okay, that game come out. Matter of fact, Halo technical beta is going on. I think again, I'm gonna be joining that. I'm on that. Everything. I'm touching it. I ain't gonna play long. But if she said, baby, for me, I love you. You have to stop playing video games. I would say no. But that is me. I only play games for 1 to 2 hours a week. But let's throw a couple scenarios. So what if you are the typical gamer that plays games for, let's say, 5 hours a day, right? 5 hours a day. Do y'all know how much that is a week? Start doing the math. So if you work 40 hours and you play the game 35 hours, what time do you have for your spouse, right? I understand. That woman says, hey, baby, I want you to stop playing the game. She might got a point. Maybe you can dial it down, but no, this is a yes or no. Do you quit? Do you quit it? Okay, that's the question. Do you quit it? Now, my man Joe said no bet. He ain't doing it. Joe's not doing it at all. I feel you, Joe. I feel you for not doing it. But for me, it's my wife. It's my wife, man. How do I feel telling my wife that I cannot stop something for her. Is that really showing your love, man? Are you really putting your love on your back? Or are you putting yourself? I had to think about that. For this one, for me, 1 or 2 hours, I say that. But if you play 5 hours, that's a little different story. Okay, if you're playing 5 hours a day, that's 35 hours a week. You might need to take a look. You might need to take a look at it. Now, if your wife play with you, that's a different story. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually pull up here a couple different things. I'm going to pull up here some stories that I believe women have wrote specifically about their husbands, okay, or significant others. I'm going to pull it up on screen. All right. And I want you guys to go ahead and take a look. Now, I'm going to see on this chat here. There we go. I can pull you up. There we go. Got something on there. So let's pull it up. So here we go. We're going to be real quick on this one. Okay. It says, how can I convince my husband to stop playing video games? She's trying to stop it. She said stop playing video games. That's all she's asking for. So we're going to say, these are a couple people. Now, this is from Crystal Lynn. Let's hear what Crystal Lynn. Now, she's a gamer, writer, hobby enthusiast, and student, right? She says, I doubt that you'll be very successful in that area. If there's one thing that men hate above all else, it's when their wives or girlfriends try to change them or their hobbies. Sure, you could probably complain enough to make him stop playing them, but that's going to lead to a quick spiral into the pit of marital problems. Hey, gotta agree with that. Your best bet would be to compromise. If you don't like him dominating the TV or computer, if you share either of those, try and find a time when he can play games where it won't bother you. If you feel ignored because he spends too much time on the game, you'll need to figure out a way to compromise on where he can spend time on the game and then also schedule couple stuff for y'all to do. You'll have to become a little more aware of new game releases, girl, because yo, this is too reasonable. I'm just, but I'm gonna finish it. So you need to be a little more aware of new game releases that he's into because it may alter a bit during that time. Give him a day or two after that game releases for him to put some hours into it. Get the curiosity out of his system and then start asking for couples time. Another idea is to try and get into games yourself. Guys love when girls take an interest in their hobbies. It makes them feel more appreciated. Now that's Crystal Lynn. She's a gamer. Okay, I was gonna say that. Crystal Lynn. Let me talk to you because we're gonna read some more of these because I really have to ask the question to everybody. Would you do? Would you quit video games forever if you was asked by your wife? But let me just say this. I'm gonna say this to Crystal Lynn. You're bugging. You're bugging, Crystal Lynn. Crystal Lynn, let me tell you something, okay, about let's say my wife. Okay, you're playing the game, right? Right? You're playing the game. So if you're playing the game, typically your wife does not want to play the game. She wanted to play the game, she probably would have a hobby of playing games, but she does not, and you do. So most of the time, wife's not trying to play that game. She's dragging. She's, oh God, get me off this game. And I don't blame her. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit here and watch, all the other shows she might be watching. You see what I mean? So I understand her on that. She's not going to do that. Number two, new releases. When do wives start caring about husband and a new release game besides Christmas? Okay, that's the only time. His birthday, Father's Day, he might get lucky. Other than that, no, that's not happening. What type of imaginary world are you living in? Crystal Lynn, it don't work like that. Typically, guys who are gamers don't find girls who are gamers. That's typical, first off, because if that was the case, then the whole gaming realm would be made up of half men, half women. It's predominantly men, but growing in women now, and fast growing in women. But it's predominantly men, which means that most guys are finding partners who are not into games, who don't play games besides on a cell phone. If it's, SpongeBob Diner Dash or, Candy Crush Saga Snake or something, all that. That's what they're doing. They're not playing Gears of War 5. Okay. She's not cranking up with you, bro, to CSGO. Okay. Like it don't work like that. It just do not work like that. So I just want you to know that first. So she's not taking up in a hobby. She's not going to care about new releases. So those two things, Crystal Linda, I think are bad advice to give that one. Okay. So now let's go ahead. This is another one. All right. And these people I got to put up here because I ain't going to do it. But you know what? I'm going to just read this. Okay. Now work with me. This is from Christoph. All right. And this is originally to the question, how do I tell my husband to stop from being addicted to playing an online game every night? Okay. Because her husband is addicted to playing an online game every night. She says, hey, you need to move his mind to time before he started to be a night gamer. It might be difficult if he got online friends which are joining him, but it is not impossible. Try to restart his old hobbies. Search in your mind about all those things he always was talking about he wanted to do one day. But big question is he actually addicted, and does it affect your marriage? Or is it just you being annoyed that he is not going to bed at the same time as you? If he is gaming only at night, means that he is using this time as his personal time. When he does whatever he wants to do and nobody disturbs him, would it be better if he spent time in the garage, pub, or fishing? Question mark. I don't know who she is, but that was gold. That was gold right there. I agree. You know what I mean? I agree. Yo, Joshua Drake, do your thing, man. Do your thing. I got to go ahead. I'm going to put you up there. You know what I mean? I see you. I see you right there. I see you, man. I got you. Okay. But I'm sorry, y'all. I'm keeping it 100. Okay. She pretty much hit a lot of that spot on. She did. One thing I want to say she hit spot on is, is it just you being annoyed or is he addicted? That's the big thing. Because see, you got women a lot of times, right? You got women that tell you, hey, I don't mind you playing games. You can play video games as long as you want to. I don't even care. I used to play Mortal Kombat back in, 98. That was my game. And so even though times change, but she tell you she play games all day, right? So you like, oh, cool. But you start playing the game and you realize quick, fast that she is not feeling you giving the game attention and not her. You got to realize attention is attention regardless of how you spend it. So if you spend the time on the game, and your woman right there and ain't getting that time, she's going to kind of feel. And that's why I say I can't play games for long, 1 or 2 hours. I'm spending way more time with her. So I can definitely say that. My time is way higher with her than it is with the game. So for me, it's different. But for some, not so much. So let's go ahead. I'm not done. We're going to go ahead and pull this up. Now, this is Stephen Smith. Shout out to Stephen Smith. Okay. Looking to ban or remove something is never the right way of thinking. Substitution is the trick. You need to think of something that he likes as much as video games and support him doing that. However, for some people, they use video games as a way of dealing with emotional trauma, similar to drugs and alcohol. In that case, the addict will have to hit rock bottom. There is little another person can do to change it except to support them when they finally choose to change. That will probably not happen until the 30s or the 40s. Damn, my man Stephen Smith. Stephen Smith just dropped a bomb. He said, hey, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Shout out to my man Stephen Smith. Okay. But this can go on all day. Now, I'm not just going to do that. We got to do something. We got to do a little better. So let's pull up some other ones, okay? So let's come from another perspective. Let's try a guy's perspective, right? So this guy says, how do I address my girlfriend's threat to no longer date me if I keep playing video games? That's a good threat. Let's go ahead and go to it. Let's pretend that the video games was gardening and you garden for 1 to 2 hours a day while maintaining that full-time $50,000 job, okay? And your partner knew full well that you garden and have since you were little. For that partner to give you an ultimatum to quit a hobby that's not out of control, 1 or 2 hours of gardening is fine, is just plain rude. This isn't like you crashed on her couch, unemployed with Cheetos stuck in your hair, playing video games that you bought with her money for 16 hours a day. Bomb. That was perfectly said. Okay. Edgar, you should not even consider addressing this issue as it will never go away. Those traumatized women who fail to see video games as just another hobby. Notice he said those traumatized women. Damn, Edgar. Woo, Edgar, fine. Woo, Edgar, you hot, man. Those traumatized women who fail to see video games as another hobby, just like football, soccer, hockey, reading, fishing, knitting, gossiping with other girls. Whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy. One thing you're not going to put with me as a hobby is right there, gossiping with other girls. It's not a hobby, man. I don't know who does that as a hobby. That ain't me. I ain't rolling with that. You ain't got me on string talking about gossiping with other. That man is crazy. Okay, crazy. So we can go on and on and on. But the truth of the matter is, I say, if your wife, husband, significant other is trying to get you to stop playing video games, you need to really question one of two things. One, is it because something is wrong with her? Or is it two, because something is wrong with you? It's one or the other. That's all I'm going to say. It's one of the other. Because typically my spouse has never, my wife never asked me ever in a million years to baby stop playing video games. It's never been a problem. My kids play games. I play games. I don't play them that often. I remember I used to. Now, if it's late at night, you know what the lady said about your time. That's true. If you're giving your time throughout the day and late at night, you're like, hey, everybody sleep. Now I can use what, I understand that. You're trying to get some time out your day to do what you got to do. So just had to drop that for the fellas. I'm trying to look you out.